Hello, this video brought to you straight from Hazelwood Hermitage Library is The Creative Imagination is My World. Now I want to explain this concept and how it applies to my own life and how it may apply to your life too. So I'm a very introverted, insular sort of person, and for me, as I say, the rule is 80% solitude, 20% socializing. And that 80% involves a lot of time in the creative imagination. So, in a sense, my world is predominantly the creative imagination. And what do I mean by that? Well, the creative imagination can be accessed in various ways through reading, music, cinema, other art forms, spiritual practice, just reflection, perhaps even writing, the process of writing. But yes, the creative imagination can be accessed in those various ways, and it's just such a powerful faculty, and it's just not just through the arts, but also just through daily life within a situation of solitude during the day. I don't know what your particular setup is, whether you go to an office or something like that, but for me, I have quite a bit of solitude during the day, and it's just an opportunity to experience the creative imagination, and it's such a powerful thing. It's like virtual reality without the technology, and the best way of describing it. And yes, it's just the creative imagination is just a faculty in the mind, and it allows you to partake of a different universe, a universe within, which also projects itself outwards. So it's like your environment is within that imaginative setting, and it's a very powerful thing. And I consider myself to be quite a creative person, and I've had a history of schizophrenic illnesses, so that perhaps makes me more apt to experience the creative imagination. But yes, it's just such a powerful thing, and I'm trying to describe it to you as best I can. But yes, virtual reality without the technology. So it's like your inner eye, like Wordsworth says, when he's on his couch at home, he sees the field of daffodils, and he's there in the field of daffodils when he's on his couch at home, because he brings it to his inner mind, and it's a real experience for him. And that's how I feel about the creative imagination. And yeah, so it's a very powerful faculty, and obviously spiritual experience is related to the creative imagination too, and it amplifies spiritual experience. But it's not just about that, it's about different worlds. You think there's theories in physics about infinite worlds and like a multiverse and all of that, and within the mind you have infinite worlds, and a book might be conducive to that, or a piece of music, but you don't have to have these stimuli. You can just rely on the mind itself, and it creates a wonderful experience. So yes, if you have a spare few minutes during the day or in the evening, try and enter the creative imagination, maybe through some music, or especially classical music works well for this, or maybe through a poem, or maybe just through a process of inner reflection, but or even visualization, of course, because it is a visual landscape in the creative imagination. And just try these practices, and it might end up being very fruitful. And of course, you need to be quite introverted to get the most out of that. If you're someone who thrives on human company and socialization, um, frequent meetings with friends and things like that, you might not like being on your own, experiencing something on the inner level. But I find the inner level is essential for my life, and it's something that I've always held in very high regard, and more so than my everyday outward life. I think the inner world is much more valuable than the outward life. So that's my take on things anyway. So thank you for listening to this brief video.